In a world ruled by manipulation, silent hierarchies, and hidden power, there is only one question: will you understand human nature or be destroyed by it? Today, I will expose the psychology behind power, control, and why people obey, betray, and submit, whether they admit it or not. Welcome to Machiavellian philosophy, where we pull the mask off human behavior and show you the world exactly as it is, not as the weak wish it to be. Today, you will learn the real psychology of power, not the moral version, not the comfortable version, but the version every ruler, leader, and conqueror has used for centuries. By the end of this video, you will understand why people follow strength and abandon weakness, how control is built, protected, and weaponized, and how the Machiavellian mind sees the truth behind every human action. This knowledge does one thing: it prevents you from becoming a victim in a world designed to exploit the naive. Now, let us begin. Power does not begin with armies, money, or influence. It begins inside your mind, long before anyone sees it, long before anyone recognizes you as someone to follow or someone to fear. The truth that most people never understand is that the greatest throne you will ever sit on is your own mind. If you cannot rule that kingdom, you will never rule anything else. Most people walk through life as prisoners of their thoughts, carried from emotion to emotion like leaves in the wind. They are angry, then calm, then afraid, then confident, then doubtful. They have no consistency, no center, no internal command structure. And because they cannot hold themselves steady, the world pushes them in every direction. These people believe others are controlling them, but the real problem is that they never learn to control themselves. In the Machiavellian mind, self-command is the highest form of strength. Before you deal with enemies, rivals, friends, or allies, you must deal with the enemy that lives inside you: uncontrolled emotion, fear, insecurity, impulsiveness, impatience. These forces destroy more people than any opponent ever could. If you allow them to run your life, you will become predictable, exploitable, and easily manipulated by those who understand human nature better than you. Power starts when you stand above your own impulses, when your emotions stop driving your actions, and your actions begin shaping your reality. Think of your mind as a battlefield. Every fear you conquer becomes a soldier who fights for you. Every emotion you master becomes a weapon instead of a weakness. Every insecurity you overcome becomes a shield against manipulation. This is the internal war that must be won before the external world bends to your will. When a person has control over their inner world, others feel it before a word is spoken. People gravitate toward those who are unshaken, those who move with intention, those who do not react like the common crowd. Humans instinctively follow certainty because they themselves lack it. This is why the Machiavellian mind attracts power without begging for it. A person who is emotionally stable becomes a psychological anchor for others, and people trust anchors more than storms. You must understand that self-control is not suppression. It is transformation. It is the ability to feel anger but not let anger speak for you. To feel fear but not let fear make decisions. To feel doubt but not let doubt stop your movement. A man who can feel everything and still act according to strategy is far more powerful than a man who feels nothing at all. Emotion becomes strength only when it is disciplined and shaped into purpose. Mastering your mind means you decide what matters and what does not. You decide when to react and when to remain silent. You decide who affects you and who does not deserve influence over your state of mind. When you reach this level of internal rule, the world cannot shake you, no matter how loud, chaotic, or threatening it becomes. People sense when a person cannot be rattled, and they respond with respect, caution, or obedience depending on who they are. This is the beginning of power, the root of influence, the core of every strategic mind in history, because no one can dominate a world they have not first mastered inside themselves. Human behavior is not a mystery to those who choose to observe instead of believe. People spend their entire lives claiming they are rational, logical, fair, loyal, moral. They speak about principles, values, and ideals as if these forces guide their every action. But if you look closely and watch not the words they say but the patterns they repeat, you will discover a truth that almost no one wants to admit. Human behavior is predictable, even when people lie about it. Most people are governed not by thought, but by emotion. And emotion is consistent, repetitive, and easy to anticipate once you understand the machinery behind it. People want to appear strong, but they are motivated by fear far more often than courage. They talk about loyalty, but loyalty lasts only until a better opportunity appears. They say they are honest, yet they hide their true motives behind excuses, politeness, and masks. The Machiavellian mind sees through these masks with ease because it studies what truly moves human beings: desire, insecurity, ego, belonging, and the constant need for validation. When you understand these forces, you no longer take anyone at face value. You stop being surprised by betrayal, shocked by hypocrisy, or disappointed by inconsistency. Instead, you expect human nature to behave exactly as it always has. This gives you an advantage that others never see coming. While they judge the world as they wish it to be, you judge it as it is. While they trust blindly, you verify. While they hope for honesty, you search for motives. And while they react emotionally, you respond strategically. The key to understanding people is to pay attention to what they do when no one is watching, what they choose when no one is judging, and what they pursue when they believe no one will find out. Words are smoke. Actions are the truth. If someone wants to impress you, they will say whatever paints them in the best light. But if they want something from you, their behavior will reveal the real them. Watch how they react when they are denied attention, when they feel threatened, when they think you have nothing left to offer. These moments expose a person's core more clearly than any confession ever could. Once you understand how predictable people are, manipulation becomes unnecessary. Influence becomes natural. All you need to do is align your intentions with the emotional currents they are already following. If a person seeks approval, offer praise sparingly, and they will chase more. If they fear rejection, give them stability and they will cling to you. If they want superiority, let them believe they have it while you steer their decisions from the shadows. You are not controlling them. You are guiding their natural tendencies. You are not forcing your will. You are inserting your will into their desires. This is why the Machiavellian mind does not waste energy trying to change people. It simply studies them, anticipates them, and positions itself to benefit from what they were always going to do anyway. Understanding human behavior is not about morality or judgment. It is about clarity. It is about seeing the true patterns that move society, relationships, loyalty, and betrayal. And once you see these patterns, once you recognize how consistent they are across time, personality, and culture, you begin to realize that very few surprises in life are truly surprises at all. People lose power long before they realize it, and the cause is almost always the same. They become predictable. Predictability is a cage you build for yourself. The moment others know how you will react, what you will say, what you will tolerate, what you will fear, and what you will chase, you no longer control your life. They do. A Machiavellian mind understands this danger, and so it treats predictability as the enemy of power. When people can anticipate your next move, they can shape it, manipulate it, or block it. But when they cannot read you, when your intentions remain hidden beneath layers of calm strategy, you become a force they must respect. Unpredictability does not mean chaos. It means controlled mystery. It is the difference between acting impulsively and acting strategically. The weak reveal everything. Their emotions, their frustrations, their ambitions, their insecurities. They speak too soon, react too quickly, complain too openly. The world learns exactly where to strike them, but the powerful do the opposite. They respond slowly, observe quietly, and act with timing rather than emotion. Their silence is not emptiness, it is a calculation. Their calmness is not surrender, it is preparation. When people cannot read you, they are forced to take you seriously. They become cautious around you. They hesitate to attack you because they do not know what you might do in return. Unpredictability creates psychological terrain where you hold advantage without lifting a finger. It builds tension, and tension itself is a form of influence. The less others know, the more they must imagine, and the human imagination can be far more intimidating than any spoken threat. To become unpredictable, you must master the art of concealment. Conceal your goals so no one knows the path you are walking. Conceal your emotions so no one can weaponize them. Conceal your strength so your enemies underestimate you. Conceal your weaknesses so no one can exploit you. In a world full of people who reveal everything through their reactions and impulses, the person who reveals nothing becomes a mystery. And mystery is power. There is also strength in strategic timing. Most people act the moment they feel something. Anger rises, they explode. Fear rises, they retreat. Excitement rises, they commit too quickly. But timing is the quiet architecture of victory. A Machiavellian waits. He waits for the moment when others are distracted, unprepared, or overconfident. He waits for conditions to tilt in his favor, for his enemies to expose themselves, for opportunities to ripen. When he moves, it is not sudden, it is precise. Another crucial part of unpredictability is the ability to appear indifferent. People make themselves weak by showing how much they want something. The more desire you display, the more leverage others have over you. But when you appear unaffected, when you show that nothing shakes your composure, people cannot pull emotional strings. They cannot manipulate what they cannot access. Indifference becomes armor. Calmness becomes a weapon. Even the illusion of weakness can serve a purpose. Sometimes appearing smaller than you are gives you room to move in silence. People ignore you, underestimate you, and show you their plans openly. A hidden strength is 10 times greater than an obvious one, because it strikes when no one expects it. A man who appears predictable invites attacks. A man who appears unreadable prevents them. And in a world built on advantage, information, and perception, the one who guards his motives with disciplined silence rises, while others remain trapped in the patterns that reveal everything about them. Control is misunderstood by most people. They think control means force, pressure, dominance through aggression, or loud authority. But real control is never loud. Real control is never chaotic. Real control is not something you shout into existence. It is something you design. It is something you build quietly, piece by piece, until the environment itself bends people toward your desired outcome without you lifting your voice or raising your hand. A leader who tries to dominate through fear alone eventually becomes dependent on fear, and fear erodes over time. But a leader who shapes the environment shapes destiny. What is environment? It is every invisible structure that influences human behavior without people realizing it. People do not choose freely as they believe. They choose based on the conditions placed around them, the rewards they want, the losses they fear, the social pressures they feel, the expectations they try to meet. Most people think they are acting out of personal will, but in truth, they are acting within the boundaries created by someone else. A Machiavellian mind understands that if you shape those boundaries, you control the choices without ever giving an order. This form of control is powerful because it does not provoke resistance. When people know they are being pushed, they push back. When they feel forced, they rebel. When they sense domination, they plot an escape. But when the environment silently pushes them, they believe the decisions they make are their own. And the most obedient follower is the one who believes he is acting freely. This is why rulers throughout history have relied more on structure than speech, more on systems than commands. Systems do not sleep. Systems do not argue. Systems do not betray. To shape an environment, you must understand what people value and what they fear. People are motivated far more by loss than gain. They are moved more by social acceptance than logic. They respond more to uncertainty than to clarity. To control behavior, you create conditions where the path you want them to take feels like the safest one, the easiest one, or the most rewarding one. You become the silent architect of their decisions, guiding without pushing, influencing without confronting. The greatest rulers do not say, "Follow me." They design the world so following them feels natural. Another part of environmental control is making yourself the central point around which others revolve. When people rely on you for opportunities, information, stability, or status, they bind themselves to your orbit. You do not demand loyalty, their dependence creates it. You do not ask for respect, your role in their life generates it. You do not chase influence. Influence grows as a byproduct of being the person who shapes the circumstances they live within. And once people depend on your presence, they fear your absence. Silence becomes a method of control when used strategically. Pull back slightly, and people feel the imbalance. Delay your response, and people lean closer. Remove your approval, and they scramble to regain it. You are not forcing anything. You are letting the environment signal the consequences. You are training people without instructing them, conditioning them without confrontation, guiding them without noise. In this way, power becomes effortless, natural, almost invisible. This level of control is the highest form because it is sustainable. It does not rely on intimidation or constant energy. It relies on design. And once the design is in place, people follow not because you push them, but because the world around them leaves them no better alternative. Human nature is strangely consistent across centuries, cultures, and personalities. One of its deepest truths is this: people value what is scarce, and they disrespect what is always available. This principle shapes relationships, influence, authority, and the way power is perceived. Human beings are wired to chase what they cannot easily have, to admire what feels distant, and to overlook what stands right in front of them. A Machiavellian mind uses this truth not to manipulate, but to protect himself from being taken for granted in a world where familiarity is often confused with weakness. Most people drain their own value without realizing it. They over-explain themselves, overshare their feelings, overextend their energy. They make themselves too accessible, too predictable, too eager to help, too quick to respond. And the moment people feel they can reach you whenever they want, they stop appreciating your presence. The moment they sense you will always forgive, always be there, always say yes, they stop seeing you as a person with depth and become accustomed to treating you as a resource. But resources are not respected, they are consumed. Power begins to grow the moment you step back. Absence is a form of presence. Distance is a form of communication. When you pull away even slightly, people feel the shift in energy. They notice the silence, the space, the missing access. Suddenly your time feels heavier, rarer, more meaningful. Human psychology reacts instinctively to scarcity. When something becomes limited, its perceived value multiplies. When someone becomes selective, they become significant. This is why the most powerful individuals are not the ones who chase attention. They are the ones who create demand. They understand that every moment of silence builds curiosity, every controlled distance builds respect, every refusal to over-engage builds importance. People begin to wonder what you are thinking, why you are distant, what you are focused on, and what you might be planning next. Their imagination fills the space you intentionally leave open, and imagination makes you larger than life. Strategic scarcity does not mean isolation. It means preserving your energy so that when you do appear, you appear with intention. It means speaking only when your words shift the environment. It means giving your time only when it elevates you, not when it drains you. The more carefully you choose where you place your presence, the more authority that presence carries. And authority is not something you demand, it is something people feel when you walk into a room. People treat you based on what you demand through your behavior, not your voice. If you behave like your time has no value, others will treat it that way. If you behave like you need validation, others will give you the minimum required to keep you chasing. But when you act like your presence is a privilege, not through arrogance, but through discipline, others adjust their behavior accordingly. They speak to you differently. They approach you differently. They think before they offend you. They measure their words around you. And that shift does not happen because you asked for respect, but because you constructed an aura that commands it. When people cannot reach you easily, they try harder. When they do not know what you are thinking, they become careful. When they realize you are not always available, they begin to value the moments you are. In a world overflowing with noise, desperation, and constant digital access, the person who is selective becomes powerful by contrast. Scarcity becomes a form of psychological gravity, pulling people toward you without force, without noise, and without ever chasing anyone in return. Power is never permanent. It is not a trophy you win once and display proudly for the rest of your life. It is a living force, constantly tested, constantly threatened, constantly desired by those who lack it. The moment you relax, someone else begins to rise. The moment you assume loyalty, someone begins to plot. The moment you believe your position is safe, your downfall has already begun. A Machiavellian mind understands that power is not something you keep by accident. It is something you protect through vigilance, awareness, and quiet strategy. People pretend to admire strength, but inside, they envy it, they resent it, they fear it. They want to pull it down so they can feel equal again. Even those closest to you may smile while secretly hoping you stumble, because your success reminds them of their limitations. This is why rulers throughout history have lost everything, not due to external enemies, but due to the people who once stood right beside them. The danger closest to you is always the sharpest, and the moment you forget this truth, you open the door for betrayal. To protect your power, you must first protect your information. What people know about you becomes the weapon they use against you. Do not reveal your weaknesses, because weakness invites attack. Do not reveal your strengths too openly, because strength attracts challenges. Do not reveal your plans, because plans spoken aloud become plans exposed. The more others know, the more vulnerable you become. A quiet mind is a defended fortress. A silent strategy is an unbeatable strategy. A Machiavellian also understands the necessity of removing threats early, not through dramatic confrontation or emotional outbursts, but through subtle decisions that weaken your rivals without them realizing it. You cut off their influence by limiting their access. You diminish their voice by controlling the environment. You let them sabotage themselves through their own arrogance or impatience. You do not destroy enemies loudly. You allow their own nature to do the work for you. Power is lost through recklessness, but protected through patience. Reward is another tool that guards your position. People follow those who make them feel seen, valued, or elevated. When used correctly, rewards create allies who believe they are benefiting while they are actually being guided. When used incorrectly, rewards create entitlement and manipulation. A Machiavellian does not reward based on emotion. He rewards based on strategic value. Every favor given must strengthen your position. Every opportunity granted must reinforce your influence. Every connection must serve the fortress you are building around your authority. At the same time, you must stay ahead of those who study you. Just as you observe others, someone is observing you. They are watching how you react, how you decide, how you lead. They are waiting for a moment of inconsistency, hesitation, or emotional vulnerability. Staying ahead means staying unpredictable. It means never allowing your behavior to become a readable pattern. It means acting with deliberation rather than impulse, and never letting anyone believe they understand you fully. The less they can predict, the less they can challenge. The world is full of people who want influence, but do not want the responsibility of protecting it. They wish for power to be gentle. They wish for loyalty to be guaranteed. They wish for stability without effort. But power is a battlefield disguised as a conversation. It is a chessboard hidden beneath everyday life. It demands awareness, discipline, and a willingness to do what others avoid. If you are not willing to guard your position, someone else will happily take it from you, because ambition never sleeps, envy never fades, and human nature never stops waiting for the moment you let your guard fall. Power is not granted. It is not inherited. It is not discovered by accident. It is built through intention, sharpened through awareness, and protected through discipline. The world you move through is not neutral. It is a battleground of motives, fears, egos, and desires, all quietly operating beneath the surface of everyday behavior. Those who ignore this truth become victims of it. Those who understand it begin to rise above it. You have learned that the mind is the first kingdom you must conquer. You have seen how predictable human behavior becomes once you stop listening to words and start observing patterns. You now understand the necessity of mystery, the power of controlled silence, and the influence you gain when your presence becomes rare and strategic. You have discovered that true control is not force, it is design. It is the art of shaping environments so subtly that people follow your path while believing it was their own choice. And above all, you now know that power is not something you achieve once. It is something you must defend every day. It is something that demands vigilance, clarity, and a willingness to stand apart from the emotional chaos that rules ordinary people. A Machiavellian mind is not cruel, it is prepared. It is not manipulative, it is aware. It is not heartless, it is disciplined. Most people move blindly, but not you, not anymore. From this point forward, you walk through the world with eyes open, seeing the forces others ignore, understanding motives others misunderstand, and carrying a mindset forged from strategy rather than emotion. You no longer react to life, you shape it. You no longer obey the hidden influences, you become the one who creates them. This is the beginning of your hidden empire, the rise of your psychological strength, and the awakening of a mind that does not bend to the world, but bends the world to its design.